Hello, this is Ruth Ann McKinnon. Thank you for coming to my channel today. This is part 2 of my perfume haul, and I have 11 to go through. Again, I've been sick for several weeks. I got a little discouraged, so I bought way more than I should have. But I don't really have any regrets, so I'm just going to get started. First up, I have Rehabs Love Apple. If you can see that there. I'll show you the box. I know not everyone cares about the boxes. I just show them, and then after I'm done filming these, I just throw them away. So anyway, Love Apple has kind of made a bit of a splash. It's having a moment. However, I'll tell you, if you, 2-3 years ago, a fragrance by Swiss Arabian made a big flat splash, and this smells exactly like Casablanca. Now, I was influenced to purchase this. This is supposed to be a juicy apple cider kind of a fragrance, and that's exactly what it is. In fact, I just went through a whole weekend of wearing it this last weekend, and so I'm very familiar with the fragrance, and they are indistinguishable. Now, Love Apple is definitely more budget friendly. This was probably around $12, I want to say, for this 50 ml bottle. On eBay, Casablanca was really more up in the $50–$60 range, and that was 2-3 years ago. I don't know what it is now, but they smell exactly the same. The notes, when I looked it up, said green apple, but what I pick up is more of a juicy red apple, and there's some spices in there that really are more, I would say, apple cider. In fact, every time I sprayed this last weekend, I thought, oh, it smells like the apple cider or mulled apple cider that I remember from when I was a kid and we would go on hay rides in the winter. They would have kind of a mulled, spiced apple cider afterwards to drink. There is a little bit of oud funkiness, I'm not going to lie, in the background. So, but it's really just in the background. It doesn't ruin the fragrance for me, but it does take a little bit of the fun out of it. But if you like apple fragrances, this is really more of a cold weather winter fragrance, in my opinion. I would never wear this in the summer. It's way too heavy, it would be cloying in the summer. Humidity, I think I might just die if I tried to wear either one of these fragrances in heat. But they're really good for cold weather. All right, so that is done with that one. I've got them piled up here on my desk, so I'm trying not to spill anything. This next one is another Middle Eastern fragrance. This is Oud 24 Hours by Ard al Zafaraan. And I bought a box, gift box that comes with the body spray. It has a really nice packaging, really nice box you can see here. Now, this is also a very popular fragrance on YouTube. This is a dupe for Tom Ford's Black Orchid. This is a beautiful fragrance. I love it so much that normally the Middle Eastern fragrances I don't buy backups for, but this one I did because I don't ever want to be without it. I've bought fragrance oils for Tom Ford Black Orchid, and I layer it with this fragrance. I love to travel with it. This is a great evening date night fragrance. This is like a dark berries, dark florals. Like, to me, this is like going out into a garden at night, and it's dark violets, and just think of purple flowers, okay, with a lot of dark chocolate. So it's just a very sultry, beautiful, perfectly blended, beautiful, gorgeous fragrance, and I just love it, absolutely love it. There's a little bit of pepperiness in it as well, but primarily what you get are dark florals. There's really no fruity in here. There's no light happiness in here. This really is, a dark horse of a fragrance, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's unisex, but I would say it definitely leans feminine, and I just can't be without it, so I had to buy it again. I have not tried the body spray. can't say for how long it lasts. The perfume itself, it says 24 hours, and it probably lasts about that. It's a long, long-lasting fragrance. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so glad to have a backup bottle. Next up, I have a couple that are not Middle Eastern. So this is a very budget-friendly fragrance from Elizabeth Taylor, and it's called Forever Elizabeth. This is very budget-friendly. I think I picked this up for under $15 on eBay. This is just a apple, orchid, and rose. And that's what I get in the spray. There's a little bit of cleanliness in here. It's very subtle, slightly powdery in the dry down. Moderate for lasting power, probably in the 4 to 6 hour range. But this is just a good, solid, everyday wear kind of a fragrance. Easy reach, right out of the shower. You know how everyone describes these kind of fragrances, right? And you kind of get that impression from the bottle. It's girly, it's feminine, it's an easy floral fragrance with a little bit of cleanliness in there. And it's gorgeous. I really love, there's lots of times when I don't feel like being challenged. And I don't want to wear fragrances that irk me. And this is exactly the kind of thing that I tend to reach for on the regular. So Forever Elizabeth by Elizabeth Taylor. All right, next up I have a Jeanne Arthes fragrance. This is the first time I think that I've ever bought anything from this house. It comes in this metal package. And I believe this was a viewer recommendation. And believe it or not, I looked this up on Fragrantica and couldn't find a page for it. So it's called Most Women. But when I purchased it, it just said Jeanne Arthes Most. This is an eau de parfum concentration. It's very strong. This is a musk bomb. It's kind of like, and it's really a yellow musk. It doesn't have the creaminess of Egyptian. It does have a little bit of a pepperiness, though. It's kind of like if you had a really strong yellow musk with a little bit of a citrus in the opening, and then the dry down is kind of a peppery yellow musk. And normally, peppery notes come with white musks, but this is kind of an, I would say, a peppery yellow musk. It's very natural. It's very nice. It's it's too strong, in my opinion, for perfume-free zones, unless you only did like one small spray on skin and not on clothes. It does not project hugely, like no musks typically do project a lot. They tend to be more wearing close to the skin, but it's very pleasant. And obviously I haven't worn it very much, so I can't give you a full review, but it's very long-lasting. I can tell you that. It's close to 8 hours. And this was right in the mid-20s in terms of cost for a full 100 ml. Very pretty, and I'm glad to have it. All right, next up, let's see. Oh, okay, so this is another Middle Eastern fragrance, and this one is also having a moment on YouTube. This is called Ajwad by Lattafa. It's got a beautiful box. If I can show it to you here, it pulls out this way. It's got a nice molded, padded base. And I looked this up on Fragrantica, and it's got a real, serious love-hate relationship. People seem to either love it or hate it. And I'm in the love category, and I'm glad that I am. So this is technically a woody aromatic fragrance. The lasting power is easily 8+ hours. And from what I read, it's supposed to be a dupe for men's Sarah Rose's Vanille. And also some people are saying it's Montal's Intense Cafe. I can't speak to that. I haven't smelled either of those perfumes, but I'm just giving that to you as an FYI. What I get out of this is it kind of starts out as a vanilla fruity fragrance. And what others are describing as a metallic note, I don't smell it as metallic. To me, it just smells fresh. It smells like a fresh, woody, floral fragrance. I really don't, there's a little bit of vanilla, but that's really in the background. I certainly don't get any rose. One person on Fragrantica called it Bengay, like it smelled like Bengay. I don't get that at all. And when I was back in high school running track, I wore a lot of Bengay, so I know what that stuff smells like. And this doesn't smell anything like that, in my opinion. It's actually really, really very nice. It smells really expensive. And that freshness note, to me, with the citrus in the opening, and then the dry down, it kind of stays throughout the dry down, but it goes more in the background, and vanilla comes out a little bit more. I really like it. So anyway, not expensive. This was like $22, you guys, on eBay, and I can really recommend it. I think I'm gonna enjoy it. So that's Lattafa Ajwad. And I have another Middle Eastern fragrance here. This is a very popular perfume. Okay, let me show you the front of it here. So this is Ard al Zafaraan Dirham Wardi. Dirham Wardi. Okay, so this is actually a very pretty but very simple fragrance. From what I read, this is supposed to be Ard al Zafaraan's most popular fragrance. And it's very, again, very budget friendly. I don't think I spent even $30 on any of these. So this was definitely in the 20-something dollar range. This is a soft powdery rose. In fact, I think it's a little boring. So when I first sprayed it, I'm like, okay, I've smelled this DNA multiple times. I can't really give you the name of what I'm smelling, but if you can just take a soft rose, make it powdery, maybe add a little vanilla, creamy, soft floral. I also read that it's supposed to be a dupe for Valentino Donna, born in Roma. Again, I can't say that for certain because I'm not familiar with that fragrance. It's a very soft, girly, easy wear, is what I'm going to say. Daily wear, I can't imagine anyone disliking it, but it's nothing really to write home about. It's nothing really fancy. It's got a nice heavy bottle, a nice metal cap. It doesn't smell cheap, but it's not anything really outstanding either. But I think I will enjoy it. Next up, I have, let's see what is next. Okay, so this one is a viral. Now, I'm not on TikTok, but I do sometimes watch YouTube shorts when I'm bored. And this is viral. So I've seen a lot of TikTok videos get put on YouTube shorts. And this is supposed to be a pheromone roll-on perfume. It's called Pure Instinct Crave. There's two different forms of this Pure Instinct. I got the Crave one because it supposedly smells better, and the other one I think is just called Pure Instinct. And I'm going to quote the box or the label on here, and it actually says, quote, sex attractant perfume oil, unquote. And what I'm here to tell you is that's nonsense. This is not a pheromone perfume. This is nothing fancy, nothing special. This just smells like fruity cotton candy. It's just a nice, feminine, fruity, sweet fragrance. It's not really all that different from Britney Spears' Fantasy. It's like Britney Spears' Fantasy and Pink Sugar had a baby, and it smells like this. And I even put it on and let it dry down and let my husband smell it. And he says, I don't really like it that much. He doesn't dislike it, but he didn't think it was anything great. So I'm going to say that this is not, it wasn't all that expensive, but it's definitely not worth it, in my opinion. I'll probably wear it when I'm traveling, but, not very impressed there. Okay, next up, I have another Middle Eastern fragrance. This one is from Fragrance World, and I think you can tell what this is duping. It's called Picky Rose. This is an eau de parfum concentration. Of course, it looks a lot like Tom Ford's Rose Prick. Really nice packaging. If you told me this fragrance cost $200, I'd believe it, because just from the packaging alone, it's actually really nice. It's a little more exotic than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting it to be kind of a soft, girly rose. That's not what this is. In my opinion, this is actually quite unisex, which is a surprise for how it looks. If you took some masculine notes. You know how when you have a male cologne and there's bergamot in the opening? This definitely has some bergamot in it, is what I pick up. And there's bergamot followed by fresh notes with a sharp white musk and with a little rose built in. I would say rose is not the primary note here. It's more bergamot, fresh notes with a sharp white musk. The rose kind of smooths out. It's there maybe more in the dry down than it is in the opening, but it's not too masculine that I can't wear it, but it's not the kind of fragrance that I would pick out to wear typically. I'm going to save it and try it out in the summer. Because of those fresh notes and the bergamot, I think this would be a good one to try for summer. But I was surprised. It's a complex scent. It is long lasting. I'd say moderate in its lasting power. And it's interesting. I would say if you wanted to try Tom Ford's Rose Prick, if you have it and you're looking for a backup, I can't say that it smells like it because I haven't actually smelled the original. But this is a very unique fragrance for a very good price. That's all I can say about it. And if after I've given it some test runs and I really change my mind and think it's something great, I'll come back and do a full review. All right. And then what did I get? I got all 3 Yaras. All right, you guys, all 3 Yaras. You know, everyone's talking about these, right? Yara. First of all, I'm going to say I dislike the bottles. I really dislike these bottles. I don't like these heavy, wonky plastic bottles with all the metal. But you know what? If it's for a good price and it's a good fragrance, I'll put up with it. I'll put up with it. I probably would never travel with it. I mean, imagine trying to travel somewhere with this big thing. So anyway, this is kind of everything everyone else is saying about it. This is technically an amber vanilla fragrance. It's moderately long lasting. And to me, it smells like a creamy strawberry milkshake. When I was a kid and we would go to McDonald's, my favorite flavor of milkshake was strawberry. And this really brings me back to that strawberry milkshake. It's creamy, sweet, girly, easy wearing. I don't smell any amber or vanilla. And that's technically what it's called, but I get more of a strawberry milkshake. And who doesn't like the smell of a strawberry milkshake, you know? So anyway, it's nice. It's nice. And then I have Yara Moi. You could imagine me sick with a cold for weeks. It just seems to be going on for weeks. Can't stop coughing. And I'm like, what can I do to cheer up? Oh, I think I'll buy all the Yaras. So anyway, this one is interesting. And I really, really like this. So this is a caramel amber fragrance with patchouli. And how it comes across, I'm not kidding. To me, it smells like caramel corn. So back when I was a teenager in the 80s, I worked in a mall. There was a food court, and they actually was called caramel corn was the name of it. And they sold all different colors and flavors of caramel corn and popcorn. And it reminds me of walking by that store. You couldn't help, or that food court shop. Anyway, you couldn't help but smell it. It was everywhere. It smelled up the whole hallway. And this brings me right back there. And when I looked on Fragrantica, people were describing this as differently. Some were saying peaches and cream ice cream with corn chips. There was a common theme of smelling corn chips in here. And thankfully, I don't get that. Now, I like corn chips, but I don't want to smell like corn chips. And I don't get that in this. But just beware, if you buy this, you might pick that up. To me, it's just a beautiful, buttery caramel corn popcorn. And I'm really looking forward to wearing this. This is a nice gourmand, probably better for winter. All right, and then I have one more. You're probably sick of hearing me talk now. I have the last Yara. This is Yara Tous. And of the 3, this one is my favorite. This one is a beautiful tropical mango. And I would say before mango, it's coconut. And I love coconut perfumes, and it just seems like coconut in fragrance is never strong enough for me. And this one comes close to being strong enough for me. So this is a coconut forward tropical fragrance that features mango, and it's got a lot of cashmere and musk in there to really make it creamy and a nice even wear. So the gourmand notes stay throughout the wear. It's a good 6 hours. I also read on Fragrantica it's compared to Alien Goddess, which I've never smelled, but it's a summery gourmand, and those are not easy to make or pull off. Most gourmands seem to be stronger and more winter leaning, in my opinion. This is going to be great. I would imagine going to one of those beautiful all-inclusive resorts in Mexico and wearing this, sipping on a tropical drink in front of the pool or at front of the ocean in one of those soft chairs, with the sun and the wind, and you know how it goes, right? This is perfect for that. Really, really nice. Highly recommended. Again, I got this on eBay for under 30. Really can't recommend it more highly. And that is it for this haul. Believe me, I've my husband actually said, all right, enough with the checking account. You got to put a hold on the purchases. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.